Hi, myself Hitesh Sharma, Microsoft student partner from Gwalior. Welcome to data binding video. In this video, we will get to know about four things. First of all, data binding between two UI elements, data binding between one UI to non-UI element. Third, we will get to know how can we use data context. And fourth thing, what is the use of INotifyPropertychanged and how can I use. So first of all, I am going to show you how can we bind the data between two UI elements. So here I have defined two text box here, and what I want to do, I just want to bind text property. So for that we have text box here. First text box tv1, second text box is tv2. So I just want to bind a text property. So it is simple, just text binding element name. Here we have to give a element name. Here we have to give a name of that UI element which we want to bind. So we want to bind a tv1 text box. Next path. Now it is asking which property you want to bind. You want to bind height, width. What you want to bind? I want to bind text. Let me run on emulator. Yeah, you can see whatever I am writing in text box 1, the same is writing on second text box automatically. So it is all about data binding between one UI to second UI. Let me show you how can we bind data between one UI to non-UI element. For that, I am going to create a one class. Public class name, yes. I'm going to define three property here. Name, that's it. Public string, pro ID, public int pro number. Okay. So for data binding between one UI to non-UI element, first of all we have to create an instance. So we can create an instance in XML, and we can also create an instance in .xml.cs. So first of all, I'm going to create an instance in XML. So I'm going to create in grid.resource. Here I'm going to call local. So yes, which was the name of our class, text key. So you can give any name here. I'm going to other. So we have three properties. Pro ID, it is needs pro name, car, pro number, it's 90. Okay. Let me bind. So we have three properties. That's why I'm going to define third text box here. Firstly, I remove this. Text binding. Here we will not use element name. Here we will use source static. We will give a name of the instance which we have created. Other, we will create a path. So we have a three properties: pro name, pro ID. So I want to give pro name car. We will do this thing same in all text box, source, static resource, other, and path is pro id. You can see in designer phase as well. Text binding, source, static resource, other, path, pro number. It is a pro number. Let me check 1 second. It's a pro number. Okay. It's a pro now. Okay. Here you can see we have a car, knife, it's 90. So now I show you about data context and why we need a data context. So here you can see we have to define a source in each text box. So I don't want to define a source in each text box, so for that I can use a data context. So data context static resource is other. Okay, then I don't need to define all these things. Because it was the outside of grid, that's why. Yeah, you can see. Now you can see we have not defined a source, but we have used a data context. After that we are getting a value here. So this is a use of data context. Let me show you how can we define a data context in mainpage.xml.cs. So let me delete from here. Also delete this data context because I'm going to define a data context in mainpage.xml.cs. So initial component here, yes, ut is equal to new, that is ut, yes. So we have a properties here, id, is mobile, product name is car, 70. Okay, so if you want to define a data context here, then it is quite easy. Just like this, dot data context is equal to ut. You can see here we are not getting a value in designer piece, but when we run, then we will get a value. Definitely we will get a value. Here you can see car, mobile, 78. If we want to change, we can also change from here is 78. I just want to give a 90, and I run it. It's a 90. Okay, so last thing, INotifyPropertychanged. So for that find one button here. The content will be increment. I'm also going to define one text block here. Okay, what I want to do, when I click on this int.row number, and firstly give a name of this text box is tu. Okay, here tu dot text row number, so it will return a string for that. Now you can see, if I click on this button, now the value is changing, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, but here we are not getting change any value here. It is constant. So I want to do something from which if property change, if the value of property is changed, then it should be changed here. So I will use INotifyPropertychanged. For that we can do easily. So it is quite easy. Just INotifyPropertychanged. For it we need a system.component model. I'm going to find the interface. Okay, so let me do one thing. Return number here, and I set number is equal to value, whatever we will get. Also we check property change is not equal to null, and property changed should call this function this new. Okay, let me show you on emulator. If we click on this button, the value is changing, and you are looking one thing, the value in third text box is also changing. So this is the use of INotify property. If the value of property is changed, then it will notify to UI element that your property is changed. So it's the use of INotify property. So we have seen 4 topics here. How can we bind a data between one UI to second UI element? How can we bind a data between one UI to non-UI element? And what is the use of data context? And last, how can we use a INotify property change? So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video.